Where did the terror bird live? Potato field? Not the potato field?
South America.
South America. Do you think he liked potatoes?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody likes potatoes. All right, so how you doing? Are you doing all your school online now too?
Yes.
I heard there's more cases of COVID up there.
What?
There's more cases of COVID?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, you stay safe. Probably best we do our school online for a little while and get this darn thing under control. It's just crazy how this is going on and on and on. All right, buddy. You know the deal. We're going to do a little reading. Then I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to score you on your use of grammar and vocabulary, which I know you're good at. You're just not as fast as the girls yet. And your pronunciation and fluency, and most important, your comprehension. Because that's the big thing. When you can hear things and understand what I'm asking, that's the really important thing. So, did you decide what you'd like to read about? Famous artists or the scariest animals?
I think the scariest animal.
All right, we'll do the scariest animals in history. All right, so like I say, you know the drill, my friend. So you read to me about the terror bird and the super croc, and last but not least, the Megalodon. When you're ready.
Terror bird about 60 million years ago. Huge birds lived in South America. They couldn't fly, but they could run faster than a horse. Scientists call them terror.
Terror, like really scary. Terror.
Terror birds, because they were very fierce hunters. They caught and killed animals with their beaks.
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 Yeah.
The largest were more than 3 meters tall. These birds all died out about 2 million years ago. There are only modern relatives are also fierce hunters, but they are much smaller, only about 80
cm, centimeters.
Centimeters.
Yeah.
Tall.
So not quite as big. 3 meters and 80 centimeters. Quite a difference. All right. What about the super croc? My favorite.
Crocodiles are the largest reptiles in the world today, and perhaps the scariest too. Some are 5 meters long and
Weigh.
Wait,
How much they
weigh
weigh, how
about
heavy they are.
1,000 kilograms, but between 100 million and 90 million years ago, a different kind of crocodile existed, and it was much bigger. It was 20 meters long and weighed about 8,000 kilograms.
12 meters long and weighed about 8,000 kilograms. 12 meters, not 20.
That's longer and heavier than a bus. Scientists call it super croc. When they found the fossils in the Sahara Desert in Africa, the super croc lived in rivers. The Sahara was not a desert at that time. It caught other animals with its mouth and pulled them into the water. There it used its 132 teeth to kill and eat them.
Sounds like a nice guy. Megalodon.
Perhaps the scariest of all ancient animals was the Megalodon. It looked like a shark, but it was bigger, the largest shark today. The largest
Bigger
shark
and larger.
today
The largest shark today is the
whale shark, and it's about 12 meters long. Scientists believe the Megalodon was about 20 meters long. Its mouth was big enough to eat a rhino, but the Megalodon hunts other large sea creatures like whales. They first appeared 25 million years ago, and for 23 million years ago, they were the fiercest hunter in the ocean. Luckily for swimmers and surfers, the Megalodon died out 2 million years ago.
died out 2 million years ago, huh? Lucky for us if we're gonna go swimming. That's really big. I see. So what do you think? Which one do you think was the most dangerous to people?
Megalodon.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying the Megalodon. It's probably the most, well, again, if it's in the water, yeah, it has all the control and power. So in water for sure. But of course, the Megalodon doesn't have any legs, right?
Yes.
So I said the question was the most dangerous for people. Where does the Megalodon live?
In the ocean?
Yeah. Do you live in the ocean?
No.
No. Well, don't you think that maybe one of the other one would be more dangerous at home?
Super croc.
You too, huh? The super croc. Where does the super croc live? Where
The
did it?
river.
The rivers. Where did the terrorbird live?
I think it can go to the ground.
It can. It's got legs. But how often do you see crocodiles walking down the street or the trail in the woods? They don't usually go far from water, right? They usually stay in water like 90% of the time or more. Maybe they come and sit on the beach for a while, get some sun. But they don't go walking around in the forest. What about the terrorbird?
Yes, terrorbird.
Yeah, I would think the terrorbird would have been the most dangerous for people. You know, can you imagine? You're all back barbecuing your pig, and then all of a sudden you look over your shoulder and there's a terrorbird standing there next to you, next to your house, next to your cave. I think I would be more worried about the terrorbirds than the Megalodon and even the super croc. Now, when I go to the river to wash my clothes and, and maybe go for a swim, then I'm worried about the super croc. But at home, I think I'd be worried about the terrorbird. If I go take a walk or I go hunting, I'd be worried about the terrorbird. That's what would scare me the most. So for that reason, being a land animal, and us, we're land animals, we don't live on the water, I think it would be the most dangerous for people. But that's just my idea. It's your test. If you think this Megalodon is more dangerous, okay. So we already said the super croc lived in rivers, right? They hide in the water and attack people or things, animals that come next to the water. So you know what a desert is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they found his fossils, his remains, in the Sahara Desert, the biggest desert in the world. So how in the world did a crocodile get in the desert?
Because
it certainly didn't go walk around in the desert.
Because in the Sahara Desert in Africa, the Sahara was not a desert at that time.
Exactly. 90 million or 100 million years ago, it was. I've heard this before. I think it was a jungle. Yeah, it was a jungle with rivers and lakes, and yeah. Because even in the history of human beings, they say that because human beings, I think the oldest fossil is Lucy. She's like 3 million years old, and it all started down around the Sahara Desert, the human races. And at that time, there was a lot of jungle and forest. There probably was some desert area, or maybe none. But yeah, so at that time, there was a lot of wildlife and a lot of animals. It would have been a very dangerous place to live. Wow. All the animals then. Oof. We would have been part of the food chain. All right. So who can run? Which animal can run as fast as a horse? Or faster?
The terrorbird.
You imagine seeing a terrorbird run down the street? That's almost as crazy as mailing yourself to Chicago. Remember that guy, Weber? Put himself in a box and mailed himself to Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah. What do we call the remains, the dead body and stuff, the remains of an animal or a plant millions of years ago? Like dinosaur bones. What do we call those? What do archaeologists find in the ground or in water, different places? Let's say they found the jaw of a super croc. What do you call that? Starts with an F. You said it already in the reading, and I said it too.
What?
You said the word earlier, and I said it earlier too. I said, how could you find the super crocs in the Sahara Desert?
What?
Fossils.
What?
Called fossils. Yeah. What group of animals include the snakes and crocodiles? What family do they belong to? They're not like people. They're not like fish. What are they? They're not mammals. What is a crocodile and a snake and I think turtle and what family are they? Lizards. Starts with an R.
Reptiles?
They're reptiles. Yeah. Reptiles. What is the hard part of the bird's mouth? Starts with a B.
Beak?
Yeah, it's a beak. What do you call animals or people that kill other animals?
The hunters?
Hunters. Yeah. Which animal lived on the African continent?
Super croc?
Where did the terror bird live? Potato field? Not the potato field?
South America?
South America. Do you think he liked potatoes?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody likes potatoes. Potatoes come from South America, I think.
Oh.
I think so. I think potatoes, yeah, I think they come from South America. Yeah. Pineapples do, for sure. The Caribbean, I think. Christopher Columbus was the first person to bring pineapples back to England. Which of the animals appeared before the other two existed? Which was on the planet first? Which one's older? Which one for sure people never saw this one?
Super croc?
Yeah, super croc was 100 to between 100 and 90 million years ago. What about the terror bird? When was it on the planet? When did it run around scaring everybody and make everybody afraid of chickens? When did they run around scaring
it? 60 million years ago?
Yeah, 60 million years ago. It doesn't say when they died out, does it? 103 meters and the birds out. Oh yeah, same as the Megalodon. Yeah, both of them, the terror bird and the Megalodon, those two big creatures died out about 2 million years ago. So they would have been around, some of them perhaps, when the human race began. So something must have happened really dramatically around 2 to 4 million years ago, because a lot of these big animals disappeared, climates must have changed, and human beings started climbing down out of trees.
Meteor.
You're talking about the first humans, or what are you talking about?
The thing that killed the big animal.
Oh, the meteor.
Yes.
Right. But the meteor, okay. From what I understand, I'm not a scientist, but I could be wrong. But what I understand is that the terror bird, yeah, that's kind of strange, isn't it? 60 million years ago, the super croc was 100 million years ago. The meteorite that made the dinosaurs go all extinct and killed all the big animals at that time, I think that was like 65 million years ago. That was a long time ago when the meteor hit the earth. So as far as I know, it's after the meteor that the sharks came along, and I think probably the terror birds. I think it was between 65 and 75 million years ago when the dinosaurs went extinct. So I think the terror bird and the shark, the Megalodon, not shark, Megalodon, came after the meteor, the asteroid hitting the earth. And they say crocodiles lived in the times of dinosaurs, which makes sense, 100 million years ago. But I think that's because they can live in water. They can go like a year without eating food, and they can eat dead animals and dead things, and they can live eating each other. So I think that's why they survived. I'm sure there's a really good theory about that. I should try to research that a little bit. You're getting distracted a lot, aren't you? Who's distracting you? Is that your mom?
No, it's my dad.
Your dad. Tell your dad you're doing a test.
He knows.
He knows. Okay. All right. No, you did really good. I don't have any more questions for you. You pretty much answered everything, just a couple. No, you did really well, buddy. You're really good at English. You have really good pronunciation. You understand a large percent of what you read and when we communicate. The speed of my English, you understand, you're processing it. You're doing very well, buddy. Just have to get a little more excited and win some vocab challenges. All right, I'm gonna let you go back to your potatoes and your dad, and I'm gonna go start fixing these videos so you can see it. Okay?
Okay.
All right, buddy. See you later. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.